Okay, so I hope you had a chance to read a little bit more about me and how I came up with this specific strategy. Now, it is really important that you do you. So if you have any health concerns, anything that you think that the perfect 10 is not for you right now, then that's okay. Come back to it at another time. You got to use your common sense and make sure that you are doing this for the right reasons. So the perfect 10 is not meant to be a fad diet. It is not meant to be necessarily a way to live your life forever and a day. What it is intended to do is help transform you in the next 10 days from the inside out in the following ways. Where, number one, you are omitting alcohol. Now, we're omitting alcohol for the next 10 days so that our liver can take a darn break from metabolizing it, okay? It is not new news that alcohol is poisonous to us. So I also want you to know I love alcohol. I love great wine. I love a good gin and tonic, and definitely a spicy margarita. So there's no judgment there. But I don't drink these things every day, right? That's a food fantasy. Next, the things that you also are going to omit over the next 10 days are any type of foods that are what I'm going to say conventional. So that processed foods, we ain't gonna be eating it right now. Why? Because chances are we need a break from it. And again, I'm going to make the liver the star of the show, because if we want to reboot our metabolism, our mood, and even our mindset, that organ specifically is like, hey, if you want to lose some fat, if you want to lose some weight, you need to give me a break from this other stuff from processing it. Okay, so we are going to not have processed food. And in the same breath, I want to say, ideally, working towards eating organic foods when you can. Organic, whole, wild, antibiotic-free, those types of foods. Why do I say that? So let me give you a quickie example with coffee. Conventional coffee, yes, I know, Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. I'm sorry. I used to drink that too. I've come a long way, baby, and there's no judgment. But those conventional types of beverages have up to 70, you can do a Google on this, 70 herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, and probably some other side in there, right? That are sprayed on the crop that essentially absorb into the bean. So I want you to think, if you're going through Dunkin' every day, are you drinking a cup of pesticides every day? And what does that mean to your metabolism? Hello? Okay, so next, what I want you to think about are kryptonite foods, those foods that are just calling your name, where you just want to step away from the fridge, but no, you open it instead, and there she be, your kryptonite, right? So you want to not buy these kryptonite foods. Now, oftentimes people say, what about my kids? Well, you either have to come to Jesus with the family, or you are going to have to exercise. I really hate using the word willpower, but there has to be some self-restraint in this time. And you're going to lean in to the uncomfortable feeling of that restraint. Okay? All right. The next thing, we are going to really do our best to avoid things that are dairy-based, gluten-based. Now, listen up, because it's not what you think. People might say, oh yeah, dairy always makes me bloated or break out, or I can't have gluten and it inflames me. And chances are the reason is because it's not organic. I always say, do you want to have a bowl of glyphosate in the morning? If you're eating conventional oats or microwaved oatmeal. And I could go on forever with this. I can go on forever. So the point is to omit these things like dairy products, even eggs right now, again, to give the liver a break. And you might be wondering, what can I eat? What can I drink? Well, the great thing is it is all outlined in your Perfect 10. I have a copy of mine right here. And you're going to flip to a chart, okay? So I have a nice little chart for you. And you can go ahead and flip right to it. But I do need you to read the entire packet. so that there's no questions. Because if you ask me a question in my Facebook group that's in the packet, I'm going to say, did you read the Perfect 10 front to back? This should be free. So you go ahead and read that. Okay, don't ask any questions. I'm sure I missed something in there, but make sure you read it first. Okay, so based on that, you're reading all this stuff. You're gonna look at your Perfect 10 chart. You're gonna see what you're gonna do from days 1 to 3, days 4 to 6, 7 to 9, and day 10. Now, I want to really give a lot of credit to the good old medical medium, Anthony William. I have become so passionately obsessed with the material that he has provided the masses. I have applied his techniques to my lifestyle, and I am just really drinking his calorie-free Kool-Aid. Okay, so for those of you who never heard of Anthony William or his process, I definitely recommend picking up a copy of Cleanse to Heal. The reason is it is a wonderful way to learn so much about yourself, right? Because food affects our mood, food affects our hormones. You might be suffering from some pretty intense conditions right now, and I think it's important to educate yourself. We are not short on resources out there on the internet, right? So it's really, really important that you do your research to see what makes sense to you. So this really made sense with me, and I've been working with people on this certain approach. Now, this is not a Cleanse to Heal program, but I do have to give credit where credit is due. You will see that there is a morning ritual that you are going to be doing, and there's good reason for it. For those of you who have never worked with me before, we are going to be doing and drinking lemon water every morning for the next 10 days. And this is a habit that you can adopt, and I hope you will, for the rest of your life. This is one of the easiest, most effective ways to revitalize your liver, who is going to help you shrink those fat cells early in the morning. Okay, so the protocol is specified in the chart. Now, the other thing that you are going to be doing is something that I've come up with over, let's say, the last 20 decades of working with women. Doesn't matter if you are currently exercising or not. I came up with this habit anchoring formula a long time ago when I was working with busy, career-driven women who were like, Aubrey, I want these results, but how are we going to manage my schedule right now? So in the morning, you're going to do your lemon water. Then, before you brush your teeth, there is a little mini Perfect 10 workout, and it just so happens to be 10 of everything. You're going to see 10 squats, 10 push-ups on your knees or toes, and 10 abdominal crunches. You're going to see that outlined. That formula, you must do it. You must do it, even if you're like, but Aubrey, I'm going to be doing legs today. I want you to still do it, okay? And you have to do it, especially if you are not currently exercising, because this is going to make you realize and believe in yourself to see how successful you can be. For those of you who are already working out, this is the next chance to actually rev your metabolism with your major muscle groups early in the day. So it's making more of a mind-body connection and signaling to your fabulous self, like, psh, I'm so fit, psh, psh, okay, and healthy. All right, so the other things that you are going to see on here, you're going to see how to take your before pictures, your girth measurements, because as Tony Robbins would say, you can't manage what you do not measure. Now, this is not a macro counting program. In fact, I would like to base it a little bit more off of informed and intuitive eating, okay? I've done also other programs through Chalene Johnson. She created a program called the 1-3-1 method. I think now she calls it Phase It Up. And all these different programs that I've went through, like Tony Robbins, Anthony Williams, Chalene Johnson, all the fad diets. I'm also a certified nutrition specialist. I'm taking all of this information in and saying, like, okay, instead of saying apply all the things, what are the things that I feel work the best, that have gotten my clients results and also myself results, to the point where I don't feel like I'm second guessing myself. So with that being said, you're going to see also a grocery list. Now, this, I want you to read it first. Like, just don't take it on your phone and pick exactly what's on the list. Like read over it and say, oh yeah, I like this food. Or if it's like, oh no, I don't see myself using that. Or maybe you're not a coffee drinker and you don't even need to worry about buying organic coffee right now. Okay, so go over that when you have a chance. Next, you're gonna start to plan out your days. All right. And you don't have to do that until really the night before. And you're going to see that because I have a bedtime ritual that is also outlined on your fancy schmancy Perfect 10 chart. Okay. Now, the other thing is if you follow that chart to a T, all right, and if don't overeat. Like if you don't want to eat a meal, then don't do it. That's fine. The morning ritual is so crucial for you. And I have integrated recommendations on how much protein that you want to eat. So there's a point in your day in the morning where like we don't want the protein, we don't want the fat. Don't be adding protein powder to that morning smoothie. Don't do it. Because the point is we want to actually, it's actually a form of a fast, but you are going to be so revitalized with that instead of like doing a water fast in the morning. Now, some people tell me, well, I do really well with water fast in the morning. From what I have learned, the reason why that is that because it forces our adrenal glands to secrete more adrenaline and epinephrine. And that was interesting to me. You will read it in this packet where I was like, yeah, no wonder I got really annoyed with intermittent fasting. Like I would wait to eat till 2 p.m. and because my last meal of the day was like at 8 p.m. because of my schedule. So after a while, it got pretty dang old. Now, some people are like, oh, I have adapted to it. And if it serves you, great. But I also encourage you to try something new because it might actually be better than what you're doing because you don't know until you try. And by the way, these smoothies are absolutely freaking delicious. They are all fruit smoothies, no protein powder, no peanut butter, okay? In fact, over the next 10 days, you want to minimize your hardcore fats. Like that's why we're choosing like lean proteins and avoiding eggs right now. It's not that fat is bad, okay? It's a matter of if you are stalling with results, chances are you got too much fat in your diet, really, okay? Plain and simple. So let's take a little break. It's not forever, it's for 10 days. Now I chose 10 days to give us this window, this opportunity, because from what I have learned, it takes a minimum of 9 days for your liver to actually get like rocket fuel again, to like truly cleanse. Now, as I said before, this isn't like a true fast or cleanse, but that morning ritual is really your secret sauce to getting pretty damn close without stressing yourself out or increasing your cortisol levels. The other thing you're going to notice about the Perfect 10, and I call it this because, you know, is anything really perfect? No, bro, we know. But it's fun, it's catchy, you know? Like we want to have the opportunity to be a 10 in every aspect of our life. That's what we typically are striving for. Chances are that's you if you are a part of this right now. So that is really important. See what else I don't want to miss anything here, just to give you an overview because you are going to read everything. Now, I do have some Aubrey approved recipes that you can click on the link in the Perfect 10 PDF and you can go to some different recipes. So outside of the chart, maybe you want to follow the chart to a Perfect 10, okay? You want to do that. That's totally fine. Right now, this season of my life, I tell people I am like Steve Jobs with my food. If you remember, Steve Jobs wore the same thing every day, okay? Because you know why? He didn't want to waste energy on caring about fashion or what he was going to wear for the day. And so even though I don't eat exactly the same thing every day, I am not Rachel Ray. I am not Bobby Flay. And I know that some people out there, they want the sexy recipes. They want the meals, and they will put time in prepping a really nice dinner. And I say, good for you. Can you come over to my house and cook for me? I'm not that person. promoting it. Not right now. I used to be before I had my son. So how I roll is I keep it simple to succeed. So I've rewritten that KISS principle because we ain't stupid, right? KISS, keep it simple to succeed. In order to do that, I pretty much eat how that perfect 10 is, where it's like I have my clean proteins. Yes, I can do a little seasoning and my veggies. So it works for me. Now, if you have, questions on these recipes or anything, gang, it's only 10 freaking days. Like, you've heard of the program 75 hard. This ain't 75 hard. So don't make it 10 days hard. Make it 10 days where you're having kind of this supernatural experience with yourself. That is my goal for you, is to say, all right, I'm going to do the work. In fact, you're going to need a journal with this program. So pick out a nice journal at your local Target and get a fun pen that you like to work with, because you are also going to document your blessings throughout the next 10 days. And the reason is, this is what I've applied. So most recently, when I continue this, I will continue to resurrect the book called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I reference her material in The Perfect 10 here. And she is the author of The Secret Movement. If you don't know her, you definitely want to check her out, because starting or ending your day with gratitude is only going to generate more positive thoughts. And we have to override your old programming of why you're not changing, or why you're talking smack on yourself, or why you feel like the victim, anything like that, with gratitude. You can't live in fear and you can't live in doubt if you have a pile of gratitude to start your day with. So I do want you to journal. And last but not least, please post your results. I want to see this. And my goal is to hopefully connect with you, because 10 days, it's a short time. You're going to have results. You're going to feel great. We're going to get to know each other better. And then I'm going to have the next challenge going on. Maybe you're like, all right, I know I need more. This Aubrey chick, I feel like I'm connecting with her. What else you got, Warwick? Well, I do monthly transformation programs, and currently at this time, my program is called Envision. So at that time, maybe you want to book a free call with me. You and me can talk, and we can talk about next steps. But you got 10 days to decide this, and I want you to take time after going through this material, get your groceries, get your mind right, and I will see you on day 11. All right, thank you for being here, everybody. Make sure you are in my private Facebook group called Empowered Fitness Coaching with Aubrey Warwick. And ciao for now. Bye, everybody.